Evening. Yeah, all right. Let's give thanks and praise in the name of the Most High. We always forget to do that. We have to start and end, finish with the thing. You get me? Give thanks. All right, bless your little cotton socks at home, bruv. This is part 2 of the continue of the story where, man, we changed my life. I have to reach you and teach you. That's if you want to be taught. All right? So, bam. Guy and told where we left off from now. Obviously, saved a life. Life's messed up. You get me? Man's chopped up, hospital. We've been through that. Quick little speed through. Then we get to, like, prison. With my arm chopped up. So, obviously, I had an old something that I didn't deal with before. Old case. Us man were flying out. Old dizzy wizzy. Just so you lot want to clear out the... You know what I mean? Not putting it out there to show you lot, but... just let you know what my crime was. So basically, I was out there doing my thing, county lines and that, as they call it now. But back then, it wasn't called that, so it's just a thing of going to make money. Regardless of where you go, you make money, man. So you try and make money in it. So obviously, I had one of them outstandings that basically it was still above my head. I had that incident that happened. I saved a life. So I had to answer for it. It was my bed. I had to go and lie in it. I couldn't make no one else go and lie in my bed. So they sent me in there for that. Basically, from the hospital to then me going to prison, obviously I got let back out. So I've come out of hospital, whatnot. Whoa, part 2 of the hospital. All right, sorry. Reach one, teach one, back to it. Samuel Paso, in the name of the Most High. Yep, let's go, part 2 of the hospital. How could I ever miss this, guys? Like, this one was deep. Something very deep happened. Obviously, I'm in the hospital, I'm listening to my... We're getting better, I'm healing up in the hospital. I got my one little compadre in the room with me. We're just chatting, you know what I mean? Getting to know each other. I'm just playing my Quranic lessons, like listening to they're called surahs, chapters in the Quran basically. So I'm just listening to him, trying my best to like, just feel the power, get the faith back up. You get me? I felt lost, cause like, no one weren't coming to the hospital, G. It was only Mumsy, God rest her soul. It was only Mumsy the majority of the time that always showed up, bro. Every single time. No one else, but everyone else had an excuse of, oh, I thought someone was with you, or whatever it was, but that's them, innit? Back to what I was saying. So my mum taught me, listen to this, son, like, you know what I mean? Get your courage, but get your faith back together and whatnot. This was a Thursday night, cuz. The spirit hit me, bro. 100,000,000%. Because I was feeling weak, tired, drugged up from them hospital drugs and all that. Something overcame all of that, bro, and gave me the power to go and wash. I didn't shower all week and whatnot. I wanted to go and shower because that's how something came over me. It was cold. The water was cold. I'm still showering. Do you know why? Because I wanted to go Friday prayers the next day. I knew what tomorrow was. I knew what the next few hours was. I know where my Lord's mercy was around the mosque. I needed to be there and go and get some love, some blessing. You know what I'm trying to say to you? My soul knew where it needed to be. So obviously I've come now, woke up the next morning, extra early in the hospital, didn't tell no one where I was going, not the nurse, not my little compadre that was in the room. Say, but I had to. There's something, when your spirit calls you, G, you got to shut your mouth, bro, and follow the guidance. You're guided by something else, and that was the Almighty at that time, so I'll show you. Gone downstairs, met someone that shouldn't even been around me, one of my old compadres, an old white, big man as well. He just walked to me, I didn't tell him either, went all the way home, cleaned up myself, got brand new clothes on, gone Jummah. So I've gone in the mosque, started praying. A little altercation happened about like where I should sit or whatnot, because I was sitting right. There's certain places you can sit, there's certain places you can't sit, do you know what I mean? It's not an order, it's not like it's always like that in every mosque. It was just something that happened at that time. So I've gone there now, caused an altercation. Obviously my pride and ego is still with me. So I'm giving it back to them. Got kicked out, the mosque, the house of my Lord. Every house of my Lord, I got kicked out. I tried to talk to someone like that, the imam. When I go into a church, I can speak to a reverend, I can speak to a priest, then and there. At that time, I was being blocked. So something happened, I was like, don't give up, don't give up. Come back in again. Had another argument, kicked me out again the second time. So in the second time, I thought, you know what? Everywhere is the house of my Lord. Apart from graveyards and toilets, everywhere I can pray anywhere I want to in this world. Apart from them two places. So I chose to pray outside the mosque grounds. Didn't care how it looked to people. Can hear people whispering, oh, he's a little devil. What's he praying with one arm outside the mosque? How it looked to people cut up. I had plasters on my face, whatnot. To them, it looked like, God knows, probably a drunkard outside, you know what I mean? And I'm there wailing my eyes out, cuz, wailing. Because like, all that pain I'm feeling, I'm like, yo, Lord, please, please. There's no way that this could be happening. I've had a bad week. Like, I don't need this on top of it. I've only come for blessings. Do you know what I mean? So in that time, I saw an act of charity I could have done. And while I'm in my problem, argument and all that, someone lost some when their property. I just give over money to the guy. I said, you know what? That's what I can do for you, but I need to focus on my problem here. Like, this is my issue. All I wanted to do is tell the imam. The imam is like the Muslim preacher, by the way, guys. Like a priest, reverend, how you call him. So I wanted to speak to my local imam and just pass on a message and say, like, why can't we take care of each other everywhere? We don't have to be the same religion. We're just humankind. It's the human thing to do, to look after another. You see someone on the floor, you just go and pick them up. You just want to help, even if you don't know them. You see someone crying on the floor, you're going to be like, yo, you're right. Is there anything wrong? You see someone abusing someone, you're going to go over and help. It's a human trait. There's nothing wrong with it. Because these times, all I wanted to do is tell the local imam that, it wasn't even our local imam at that time, but I wanted to just say to him, like, why can't we just tell everyone to take care of each other? Like, just put that in the talk today, this, you know what I mean? Like, we should tell him what I've been through, but not use me as a personal reference and be like, can't we just look after each other as a human act? There's no way no one's on this planet, if God didn't allow it, the Almighty didn't allow everyone to be here. Everyone's here for a reason and a role. So you can't be like, he shouldn't be here, he shouldn't be here. That's playing God. None of us should ever do that. Or should even think about that. So that's all I wanted him to say. So when I've gone outside to pray outside the mosque now, that was the only thing in my prayer. When I'm putting my head, like in Islam they say, when you put your head down on the ground, you're basically putting your higher self on the ground for the sake of your Lord. So you're humbling yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? That's what it means to humble yourself. So when we're humbling ourselves, that's when our Lord says, that's when you're the closest to me. That's when my ears are wide open, when you're down there, right at the bottom, giving me that. So then when I'm down there, I'm crying my eyes out, wailing. That's all I'm saying. It's like, God, all I want is that message. I didn't even tell my Lord the message. I just said, Lord, you know why I come here. I just wanted to put this message out. Everyone was against me. Everyone was like, you know, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. I felt like, yo, are you lot all right? Or maybe they had me looking at myself like, what, am I not all right? But you should never, ever doubt yourself, ever, in this world. Yeah, so what's happened now? As I've got up, humbled myself again, gone back and sat into Friday prayers now, I've just sat there and thought, you know what? I accept defeat. I put my hands up. I was like, you know what? I'm not talking to no one else because they come like I speak a foreign language to everyone. You get me? So I was like, cool. I'm going to shut my mouth now. Sat there with my pups, just held it humble. Your parents there, you can't really, you know what I mean? When they say shut it, you're shutting it. African nation, one, you know what I mean? My pops say like that. He talk with words, but that's how it is. So imagine what the Almighty did for me then and there. He answered my prayer then and there. An imam come from America. It was a different one. So it wasn't the one that I was going to talk to. And then he's come out and said, we should take care of everyone. Brothers and sisters in Islam. The ones out of Islam. It's a human act. Looking after everything. You know what I'm trying to say to you? This is our Lord's world. Take care of his things, his people, and he'll take care of you in ways you wouldn't believe. The amount of tears that was racing down my eyes, but not crying, cuz I was crying tears of joy, G. Joy. My Lord just answered me in a minute. And those are the two times when our Lord tells us, when you're in need, and you're in pain, you've got nothing else, you're closed in. Your prayers get heard immediately. They open up every heaven, direct to your Lord. Straight travel through. And when you're traveling, there's certain other things I started learning about, you know what I mean? why that happened. Because I didn't want to be the human being to be like, all right, I use my Lord, I'm good. I'm now going to go my way. Nah, it don't work like that. You have to ask yourself, why did that happen? How did it happen? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Well, to tell you the truth, where I'm so far gone in life, I don't choose to even, any feeling can bring up that hurt again. And I'm trying to deal with them like, not deal with them, deal with my hurt in order to not be a reaction. Like if I do see them, or if they do something or do try and take the mick, am I going to react now? Or am I going to do it the way that I now know, the path that I've learned? The path of retribution, which is not mine, it's up to the Lord, my friend. The path of revenge is all up to my Lord. As long as I give it to him, it's his. I ain't got to do nothing crazy or nothing mad. Got put into prison for something I did a long time, like something when I was doing my county lines or whatever. Something I did a year before that, but it come back to bite me in the arse. But I didn't know that this is still the path that my Lord wanted me to go on. I didn't want to go to jail. I wanted to heal, be with my family. I just lost my nan just before then. God rest her soul. So I needed to be with family. I was feeling it. But then the Almighty had a different plan. It was like, yo, you're going to prison. With my arm bust up, I had a big old cast across my arm, one-sided cast. So all of this was open. It was a new thing. And everyone knew who I was in prison. My enemies, my this, my that. My Lord put me into the pit. I'm thinking, yo, I've got no option. No family in here, no one. I have to pray. I have to pray. Because I just come from learning certain things, like powerful things that I knew my Lord had me. I knew as long as I keep the connection, he would never let nothing happen to me. Nothing that he doesn't want me to go through. And whatever I go through, he knows I can get through it. Our Lord wouldn't test us with something that he would not guarantee to know that we'll get through. So people out there, you'll get through anything you're going through right now. Trust me. Just have the faith. Faith is not seeing it and then believing it. Faith is believing it. Then you see it every avenue. Do you get what I'm saying? This is fresh. This is 3 months into my injury. So basically, I had staples all across because the stitches weren't good enough. They wanted to skin graft and all sorts, but thank the Lord Almighty, nothing happened. It was just staples, and I had them taken out while I was in hospital. While I was in prison, sorry. And yeah, I was just healing. I didn't want to heal in there. To tell you the truth, I had my hand down my trousers. I didn't even want to use my arm no more. I'll just stick it down my tracksuit and just use my right arm for everything. Lucky thing, like, I could write, I weren't left-handed. Imagine that, losing the hand that you can do everything with. That means you have to teach your new hand everything. Same thing I had to do with this. I had to teach myself, again, physio, all of that stuff. But getting to that, I was thrown into the lion's pit when I was thrown in prison. So there's nothing but enemies around me. Everyone knew who I was. I don't even know who they were. That's how our enemies work. Whether you know it out there or not, you don't know who your enemy is until the problem happens. You're lucky if you know them. Okay, so I'm in there now. I'm getting through it. I'm just putting my knuckle down. I'm meeting people, but I keep bumping into people. Someone like, how could I say it? Like a landmark. Like if you know this person, do you know what I mean? People are like, oh, it doesn't really make sense because you know what I'm saying? It was direct God's links to people, like people that were just mad, sick, head in the good. So as soon as I see them, oh, you're in here, yeah, no good trouble, yeah. I've seen all them, your pals. I'm like, thank God, because there's something else watching over, man. You know what I mean? Something. So I thank the higher power. Now I'm in the lion's den now. Broken arm, all my enemies around me. I had no option but to pray. To pray and try and make like little alliances that people, you know what I mean? God's alliances, not, oh, he's good or he's strong or he can back me or he knows my people. Forget that, nothing mattered. Now I knew the strength of my Lord. Or a little bit of the strength of my Lord. Some people, because you don't retaliate or you don't do nothing or you don't act up to their thing, they'll call you a pussy. They'll say you're a mug. They say he's not on it no more. They say he's come off the roads. They say he's done that. Whatever they want to say, you're going to have to go through it one day. And that's the fact. If it's not today, then when? Because it's a cool part of growing up, everyone, man. 100 million%. You know what I'm on about. But because I chose the higher ground, I'm the teacher now. So I'm going to teach you lot how to change your lives. How to reach one, teach one, and stop kids from going into prison with these injuries and getting to these stages before you can even save yourself from it. Because I didn't pick this path. This path was picked for me. For me to go through what I went through, to be sitting here in front of a camera telling you this, alive, is God's grace. And every day since that day, how I chose to live my life, every day is a blessing for me. Do you think I care about tomorrow? Tomorrow's not promised for none of us, G. Live the best you can today for you. As long as you're happy with you and you've done the best you can, then that's it. What else you got to look for? Prison can be a good or a bad thing. Not actually, it's a bad thing going there. You don't even want to be there. But I had to make use of my time when I was there. Do you know who I met in there? I met my Lord. I got closer to him. I got taught how to cook, how to fold up my clothes. You see the fold up the clothes one there? A little lady, God bless her cotton socks, she raided your room. You know, like you get stripped, you just search you, huh? She raided my room. Used to be a little messy guy. T-shirt, throw it in the back, the clean clothes with the dirty clothes. All the feng shui in my room has all disappeared. She folded up my clothes. Neatly. Bro, that messed with my head, cuz. I'm sitting there like, forget TV, man's watching this, cuz. Right, that's how you fold a T-shirt. Thank you. You know who you are. Since that day, I have never been the same. I can't leave no clothes unless they're dirty, just thrown in a basket. Now everything that's clean gets folded. My feng shui in my room is very nice. Thank you. But yeah, you get taught the maddest things in there. It's what you learn. We learned how to cook out of a kettle. Proper 3-course meals like onions, like we learnt stuff, do you know what I mean? Them same skills I'm using on road now. What do you think my baseline meal is? Mackerel and rice. I don't care what anyone says. That's the healthiest meal. Brothers be on mackerel and rice for 10 years. You see their skin glowing. Beer omega-3s in her. You lot are getting churned out. And these men are... Look. Come on, man. Say mashallah, by the way. I want no crosses on me. But yeah, I learned how to be a man in there. But I didn't know that at the time. I only knew when I came out and looked back. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So I had to look back and was like, prison was actually a good thing for me, personally. Because it made me grow up. I had to grow up. There was no other choice. I had to be a man. I had to learn how to defend myself in words rather than action. Because I never had, you know what I mean? One arm was out of the way. I'm literally a threat to everyone. Everyone's going to pick on this one because he just grabbed his arm and it's, you know what I mean? But I had to learn to be strong with my words. Strong with, you know what I'm trying to say to you? You learn other things. Yeah, I might have lost my arm for that time, but trust me, everything else strengthened up. This strengthened up. My heart, my mouth strengthened up on the way it was talking about things. My mind on how it was thinking clear. I tell you what I learned in jail. The maddest thing, and I only learned this when I come out, another thing. Astral projection. I didn't know what the hell that was. I was like, brother, well, you need a projector to astral, brother. Listen, man, I'm not playing Sonic. No. It was, bruv, listen to what I did. The gap in the window was that small. Yeah? I see a bird. This little bird. I said to myself, I'm gonna act like I'm that bird. Call me mad or whatever you want to call it. Because those that don't understand will call you mad. Those that do understand and say, yo, you're onto something here. Basically, I was that bird. I chose to fly over my manor. I felt like I was, do you get what I'm trying to say to you? Not the view of Dan with people, the overhead view. Gee, eyes closed, I was gone for about a couple hours. Cellmates trying to talk to me and be like, bruv, he's like, I couldn't get you. I was like, gee, I don't even know what happened. But when I come out a few years later, watching my little YouTube, flicked onto this whole spiritual manifestation and all this stuff, like I was doing it before I knew what it was. So never doubt it, you just need to learn. Like the same thing what I'm telling you what happened outside the mosque. Something happened, then I learned on it. What was that about? I studied what happened in my life Instead of that, see how you all study other people's lives? Put your life there and study it. Trust me, the blessings are there. Every single day your Lord's telling you something. But you ignore that message and pick up Shelley's one. Not dissing any Shelleys, by the way, yeah? You know what your other phone's saying, this is saying, but you don't know what your Lord's saying to you. How about you quiet everything down and start listening and being quiet? That's what prison taught me. To quiet my mind, to get away from everyone. To make the voice inside here get louder and connect with the voice that I needed to connect. The almighty power. I learned how to manifest in there. Didn't know what it was. I drew a picture of where I was. Closed conditions, like GTA view. Remember Grand Theft Auto? Everyone's looking down. That's the view I had it of where I was. Then I drew half the other page, DCAT prison. I've never been to a DCAT prison, guys. I drew a fence with a one guard sitting there. Do you know where I pulled up to? A fence with a one guard sitting there. Months later, I had to go run into my book. When I got there, I ran into my book. Everyone thought I was mad. I was ripping up letters. Where is this? Where is this? Boom, when I found it. So I can't tell no one about this. Man, they're going to think I'm tapped. They're going to think I'm talking to doppies. Like, that's what people think. Oh, he's classes, he's this, he's that. But little do they understand the good side of all this thing. Yeah, you believe in all the drancos and the crosses and that. What about God and his people? Huh? Thought so. So manifestation, astral projection, cooking, praying, cleaning myself, like becoming a better man. Learning how to talk, think, clean, like reading books. I read big Richard Branson's book in there. Didn't even want to read it. It was just sitting on the sofa one day like that. You know, like I grabbed it. Got in my cell tonight. It's me and Branson. None of that funniness though. But yeah, it's me and Branson. I'm sitting there like, found myself sitting like this guy. Hey, reading a book. My man said I invested in that. Took that P, invested in that one. Started that business, started that business, started that business. And I'm like, rah. We can all do the same thing. It's what we choose to do. The same thing. I picked up that book and now I can't stop reading. Reading has now become part of my thing. Praying to God has now become part of my normal daily routine. It's like you enact all these things. When I get sad and I'm down and out, I go and cook. Cooking gets me back in touch with my little things, you know what I mean? Meditating, going gym. All of these things help clear your mind, walking, talking to someone, like the correct someone. Not just people that want to walk and tell your business. Ah, you know what he's going through? Oh my days. None of them. People that actually listen, take it in, and then give you a correct answer. And still don't tell you, don't follow me, but that's what I would do if I was you. Stick by them peoples, man. Reach one, teach one, each one. That's the motto, man. The motto is Rotto. Sammy El Paso, it's another episode. Thank you very much.